Well, Liberia has a very long mining history in diamond, in gold, in iron ore. These are the major three commodities that Liberia has been involved in. But in recent time, besides the early U.S. Regional Geological Survey that was conducted, that picked up traces of the various elements, and that led to the production of the mineral occurrence map, there was a recent study done by the Chinese that verified and also identified additional occurrences. That is the critical minerals of lithium and some other things. So, like the base metal, you have the iron ore, you have the diamond, and you know, the ground, the geology of Liberia is very, very rich when it comes to mineralization. We have share zones, and Liberia is divided into about 9 to 10 quadrangles, you know, and things with some geological information. But the fact remains that Liberia remains unexplored with all the high potential of minerals occurrence in the country. Liberia remains about 80% of Liberia has not been explored. If you even go into the oil sector still remains unexplored. In recent times, just Total Energies just signed some production sharing contract with Liberia with few oil blocks, and other countries are coming. We open the investment corridor. We want to be as much as friendly to the investor. We place ourselves at the disposal because the mineral resources of Liberia had not been able to actually benefit Liberia. As Africa goes together and enters into the value chain, so Liberia thinks the same way, that because we have never had that sufficient energy to encourage local manufacturing, this time we have a huge potential of developing our sector, the energy sector. As you may know, in recent times, we just won the compact from the United States. And that compact was giving us two options. Either we select transport or we select energy. Liberia high-level officials from government went together and made an integrated decision, a consensus decision, that indeed we go with energy. Because if we are to enter value chain, then it needs to be backed by the supply of sufficient energy. So the compact is now being 100% directed to energy, to back our determination to make sure that Liberians get into the value chain corridor as per the demand of all African nations, as we just discussed it from the FMF in Saudi Arabia. So in that context, why is it that Liberia has not been having some equity participation in her own mineral sector? That idea came to the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the document is at the office of the president now to give a cabinet endorsement to it, to make sure that Liberia National Mining Company is established, and that will enable Liberia to graduate from royalty to equity. And we cannot do it alone. That's the reason why we are even inviting companies or country with the success story in establishing the national mining company. That conversation we needed, that will be locked into our own idea of establishing the national mining company. So it's a huge opportunity. And then another thing that we want, we are inviting the entire world in the mineral sector to come to Liberia, is that we want to have Liberia explored. With all the vast mineral resources potential that we haven't been able to conduct exploration to know exactly what we have. If we know exactly what we have through exploration in generating the needed geoscientific data, we will be able to make a responsible decision at the negotiation table. That's why we are inviting partnership to make sure that Liberia is explored, to know what we have, because there is a huge potential. Right now, the critical minerals, our geological survey and the exploration department are just map out those potential areas and waiting for potential investors, serious investors, who are determined to come and conduct detailed exploration, serious management that will lead to the exploitation, and not just the exploitation, that will also lead to value chain, and things to create, that corridor of manufacturing to have some finished product in Liberia, which will increase the revenue envelope of the country and also create a job opportunity for our citizens. Liberia has over 60% of the young folks, in Liberia, that makes up the little above, 5 million people that are in Liberia. The young people there, they are crying for jobs. So we need this investment in the country that will put us on par with other developing nations, Since 1847, Liberia is not happy with where they are. This sector is the one that Liberia wants to use to improve the livelihood of the people, to ensure economic growth, to ensure modern infrastructure development. And we are not doing it alone. We are inviting other partners to come and join us as we open our doors, build investment confidence, so that we will be able to unlock the potential of Liberia. The one thing, the National Investment Commission, usually investment coming into the country will have opportunity for investment incentive. The National Investment Commission is there, and the application is done with respect to the investment you want to do in the country. You will apply to the National Investment Commission. We work in collaboration with the National Investment Commission of the Republic of Liberia, where you apply for investment incentive, and that investment incentive is offered. There's room for that, for investment incentive. And one of the good things about Liberia that makes it a very good climate for investment is you can 100% lift your profit with no hindrance. Because I know you are not a philanthropic group, you keep to invest and to have a return on it. But the thing is, the investment, we create the corridor that it should be a win-win situation. It shouldn't be one-sided and thing. Liberia should benefit, the investor should benefit. Investment is associated with returns. You must have returns on your investment. And then Liberia will also encourage equity participation because it's intended. We cannot exploit the resources and leave Liberia without being developed, because the resources in the country is intended to develop the country. It's intended to standardize the living condition of the people. It's intended to have an improved economy. It's intended to create more jobs for the young folks, to also support our educational system that will standardize it. We need professionals, we need transfer of technology into our country to have our professionals that will take ownership of their own resources while they encourage investment to come in the country and promote partnership. That's what Liberia stands for.